What's going on, everybody? It is H&J Talk Sports at the end of the week. Better late than never, right, Harry?
Yep.
Better late than never.
We're still coming to you.
We're still coming to you. We couldn't take a week off. We don't have a regular show this week. We'll get back to that last week, but we had to talk about these games because there's some big games last week and there's big games coming up. Obviously, if you watch us or follow us at all, you know Harry was at the game. So we initially pushed back our recording until he got back from West Virginia. And then Joe has been dealing with the Rona. So I canceled the show. And now we're here just talking about these games. Fun stuff.
That's dedication, man.
It is dedication. If I die, make sure it goes viral, guys. That's your job. Anyways.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Let's get to it. Harry, Virginia Tech and West Virginia. You were at the game. How was it?
It was hot.
It was hot?
The sun was out, man. I got burnt. It was fun. Anyway, okay, let's start. My first reaction is, Daggy, if you ever pull some shit like that again, I'm going to kill you. I didn't mean that. I'm not going to kill you. Man, I was fuming.
Is it, though? Is it Daggy or Neil Brown?
Well, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
I do think that Neil Brown's at fault a little bit.
Yeah.
But Daggy, man, you had the game won. You literally had the game won. And you did the worst possible thing you could do, and you throw them the ball inside your own territory, deep inside your own territory.
With an ugly pass.
It was terrible.
And that's twice. He did that pass in the Maryland game, too. He loves that little pop pass into coverage for some reason.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Throw it away. Take a sack. Anything. You can't. You got very lucky. Your defense saved you. Otherwise, it would probably be a lot worse, the criticism.
That's a big story from the game. West Virginia had the best red zone defense this week in college football. Bartlett had a huge game. He had like three or four of their sacks out of, I think they ended up with 5 or 6. He was everywhere.
And not just making big plays, but making plays in crucial moments.
That matter. Yeah. Third down plays, right? Red zone plays. Huge. Of course, West Virginia won 27-21. Harry, did we will it like we said we would last episode? Was it all our will that got this win?
Yes. We'll take credit for this.
Okay, good. H&J Talk Sports got West Virginia that win. You heard it here first. But this game, man, it was really the tale of two games. And when we talk about Oklahoma, my take for the Oklahoma game was completely different in the first half of that Virginia Tech game. And then it completely changed because now I don't know what team I'm getting. In the second half, we saw the team we saw against Maryland.
I'll say since that Maryland game, there's been a little bit of an edge. Mm-hmm. You saw it in the first half.
On the defense.
The defense, yeah. Even the offense in the first half played well.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, the defense definitely carried the team and by far the strong point of the team. But, yeah, there's an edge. There's I think they expected to win that Maryland game. Mm-hmm. They knew how big of a game it was to start the season. They lost.
Yeah.
And they kind of came with a little fire the next week. Granted, they did what they should do, but they did it, There's a lot to be said for that. And most importantly, they carried it into the Virginia Tech game. They started on fire. I mean, it was 14-0, like nothing.
Yeah, I will say the offense looked great in the first half.
Offense looked great.
Letty Brown had a big game finally.
The line played good because Letty Brown was untouched on that first play. And Daggy, the first play of the game, he missed that wide open throw. It's not like he's. Yeah. People say he played well. I don't think he played well.
No.
He was missing throws. First play of the game, guy's wide open, and you miss him like that. Bad.
And I'm going to say something now. You compared him a couple shows ago to Skylar Howard. I think Skylar Howard was better. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
Yeah, the thing is, he's Skylar Howard's arm without the running ability that Skylar Howard had.
Yeah.
I mean, what can he do? Can he, I mean, I hate to criticize him after a win, and I know
No, it's merited.
we're going to say we're poor fans, but what does he bring to the table?
No. Well,
Experience.
okay. On that conversation, you said in the game before the LIU game, Garrett Green, played. I can't say anything against that team. What you think of him on Saturday?
He did great in the role that he was doing. He was getting the first down almost every time he touched the ball. But he didn't complete any passes. You'd like to see him get more passes. I don't know if maybe they just don't feel confident.
I don't think they wanted to give it to him.
His arm.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something they need to give him more plays as the season goes on. Unfortunately, now you're going to have a tough team, and it's going to be a little more difficult. But
yeah,
he's the guy that's going to, by the end of the season, he's got to be playing.
Well, look at it. Harry's all out on Jared Dagey. I want to remind people when we made our prediction, Harry said there's no way Jared Dagey doesn't finish the season barring injury.
I was for him, but I mean, he has done nothing this season other than to prove that he's not it. He cost us the Maryland game with some horrible turn. He did it in the Maryland game. He had that turnover late, remember?
Yeah.
We were driving. At the end of the game, we were, down by 2. He throws a pick. He got lucky.
On a good drive up until that point.
Yeah. The only reason we won this game is because we were ahead at the time.
Yeah.
And
the defense was amazing. The fact that they held that turnover in the red zone was amazing.
One thing is, if you have a QB that's, a game manager type, that's, they're not going to win you the game, but they're not going to hurt you. They're just handing the ball off, making short little throws. This guy's not throwing it deep. He's not helping you. He's hurting you.
Yeah, every time.
It's 2 out of 3 games. The 2 games that we had that were close games, he threw picks at the end of the game, and very easily could have lost us. We could be 1-2 right now. Which
leads me, let's connect this to Neil Brown a little bit, because here's the thing. As I was watching the game, the ESPN announcer, or what channel was it? Whatever channel it was on, I think it was FS1. The announcer said he had talked to, before the game, he talked to West Virginia's offensive coordinator, and the offensive coordinator said, I would like to throw the ball some more, do some more throwing plays. But at the end of the day, Neil Brown makes the final calls, and Neil Brown says, no way, we're a run first team. Okay. If you're a run first team, and I understand when you got a quarterback that's not that good and you have Letty Brown, why are you throwing the ball? Now, again, it was Dagey with the bad throw, but why are you calling pass plays in the fourth quarter when you're up? Run the ball. If you want to be a run team, that's the time you run the ball. You throw it in the first quarter.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I remember, I don't remember what quarter it was, but there was a drive. I think we were on the 2 or the 4. No, I think we were on the 2. First and goal on the 2. We passed it the next 3 plays.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game, was he being a little more conservative, playing not to lose? I think so, and I think that cost us. I don't know what the answer is.
It's kind of an enigma, because we can't really wrap our heads around it with Neil Brown.
You can say we should throw the ball, but who's the guy that you have back there throwing? Do you trust him to throw the
That's
ball?
what I'm saying. Is it Neil Brown's play calling, or is he using what he has right now to his best ability? So obviously you have the crowd that's calling for Garrett Green 100%. And I haven't been one of those people. I've been saying slow and steady, go with Dagey. And to bring it up to this Oklahoma game, if you're going to have a chance, which I'm not saying they do against Oklahoma, you're going to need to just do some crazy shit. Why not throw Garrett Green in there and just throw him off? Because they're not expecting it. When you have a bad line, how do you counter it with a QB that can run, right? So you have Letty, and he can throw from what we've seen. He has an arm. If you're saying Dagey, you go with Dagey because he's the game manager and he has the better arm, and we haven't seen that. We've seen turnovers in critical moments. We've seen overthrows, and we've seen thrown into triple coverage with these pop-ups. We haven't seen him be a game manager.
Well,
so what could Garrett Green bring that's worse than that?
He can very easily take us out of this game with some bad plays. It's going to be hard enough stopping him. It's going to be even harder if your offense is putting you in bad situations.
Well, let's get in. Well, before we get into that, actually, let me just ask you a question about this, being in West Virginia. Of all the games you've been to, was it the most amped up? It sounded like it on TV.
It's the most amped up I've been to since it's been a while. I haven't been to a ton of games lately, and I mean, since I might go to a game a year recently. But I mean, the energy was good.
It sounded like it on TV. That stadium was rocking the whole broadcast. You could hear it through.
Yeah, it was definitely it was the best game I'd been to in many years.
It's a big win, but like we said, I still can't tell you what kind of team we are.
Yeah, some of those, I would say those Oklahoma, West Virginia games that when we played in Morgantown had more energy. But definitely the biggest game we've had probably in the Neil Brown era.
Yeah. Oh, easily. I don't know. As far as me, I haven't, because I moved a long time ago. I don't get to a lot of West Virginia games. I was at the bowl game between Clemson and West Virginia, which was huge. And I remember being on High Street weeks we played Pitt. That was a lot of energy.
Yeah. I'd say the most energetic game I've ever been to there was probably when West Virginia and LSU played in Morgantown. That game was unlike anything. I didn't get to go to the Pitt WVU game when they played the 13-9 game. Unfortunately, I had to work. I was watching it on TV. I don't want to bring up those bad memories, but the games I was to, the LSU WVU game was a night game, had all day. If this game was a night game, it might have rivaled that.
Yeah.
But maybe not. That game, LSU was like second or first in the country then.
Well, this is the first capacity game, so
it was pretty full.
Yeah.
People started leaving near the end though because it was getting hot.
Yeah.
And it looked like we were in control. We were going to finish it. Everything we could do wrong.
Imagine your surprise when you leave the stadium and then you pull out your phone and see Maryland with the ball down by 7 in the red zone.
Yes. Everybody was on edge at the end.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech.
Well, let's get into Oklahoma. Now, I've seen lots of people on social media saying if anyone's going to upset Oklahoma this year, it's going to be West Virginia this week. Harry, honestly, I don't know what they're smoking. Listen, we would love for that to happen. But I cannot look at this team in the first 3 weeks of the season and say, yep, this is it. This is the time.
Not likely. But I will say I feel better now. I mean, it's weird because we lost to Maryland. And I felt like if we lost that, it was going to be a really bad season. I never expected to feel like this, but I feel better now than I did before the season about our chances.
That's interesting.
I don't think we're going to win. I think we very easily could get blown out of the stadium. But if things go right, it's going to be tough playing in Oklahoma, playing at a night game. Oklahoma hasn't been as impressive as everybody thought they would be this year.
Yeah, and one of the things people are saying is I guess this is the lowest scoring Oklahoma team in the past few years. So they're struggling on offense.
They have struggled. They struggled against, I think the first game was it Tulane?
Their defense hasn't looked, but they're Oklahoma, and you're playing them at home.
It's tough, but Oklahoma is known to drop a Big 12 game early in their Big 12 schedule. They do it almost annually. They lose to somebody you don't expect.
Yeah.
So maybe West Virginia's got the defense. If the offense it doesn't hurt themselves, maybe the defense can keep us in the game.
Here's the thing, though.
It'll be tough.
When you're playing Oklahoma, those mistakes are going to cost you. It's not going to be like in Virginia Tech. If you make that mistake, they're scoring. And not only that, but they're going to take the momentum and they're going to start running up the score. So you can't make those mistakes. We can't see, and you got to take advantage of opportunities. If you're going to beat Oklahoma and you got a wide receiver wide open down the field, guess what? You can't overthrow him. That has to be a touchdown. And I don't know if Neil Brown is the guy yet. I don't know what to think of him. Deggy's not the guy.
He's not.
I will say, I think we need to see more Garrett Green this week.
I would like to see him. I don't think he should play the whole game. I don't think he should be the starter. He didn't really get any passing attempts, but I would like to see it get closer to 50-50 in reps between those two.
I don't think you'll see 50-50, but God,
I don't think you'll see it, but I would like to see it. I think he deserves to see it. And I think if that interception cost them the game against VT, Neil Brown's in trouble. Yeah. There's a lot of people calling on him. And his seat's getting a little hotter.
I see people say that. And here's the thing, though. West Virginia just had their best recruiting class ever. They really like what he's doing, building a culture, building an organization behind the scenes. I don't know how much rope that buys him, but I think that buys him a lot more leeway than people think.
Yeah, but with the fan base, he would be in
trouble.
With
the fan base, but the fan base is fickle.
Being able to recruit goes a long way, but when you're playing, you're not playing teams that are above your level. You're playing teams that are your level.
Yeah.
And you're losing because you're sticking with a guy.
Yeah, 100%. But I think, at least in my perspective, I think among the higher ups, I think he's got at least until we see his recruits on the field, until we get a real Neil Brown team, not the leftovers from the previous era.
Possibly.
But I don't know. You bought yourself something with that Virginia Tech win. Another interesting fact, West Virginia hasn't won on the road in the Neil. I don't know if this is Neil Brown era. I don't know about his first year, but last year for sure, all their losses were on the road and all their wins were at home. They were undefeated at home and couldn't win a game on the road. So that's even more. How are you going to go into Oklahoma and win that game?
Yeah, it's not like that. I mean, we're big underdogs. I think last I looked, we were 16.5.
Yeah.
Ducks.
I think I saw 15.1 or 6, maybe 16 something.
It's not likely. It's gonna be one of those games where their offense is gonna have to struggle. The defense is gonna have to find some weakness that they're attacking, some weak spot on the line, something. We got a good D line. I mean, we saw it.
Yeah. This is the defense. I'm not worried about them.
But this is a strength on strength.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech's strength was their defense. And our defense was able to hold off their offense, and the offense was able to score on their defense early, give us some cushion. This time it'll be Oklahoma's known for their offense.
Yeah.
Granted, they've struggled this year, but I don't know. This is a home game. There's going to be a lot of momentum.
So what are our keys to victory? If somehow West Virginia pulls this off, how do we do it?
Biggest key is limiting turnovers on offense. You can't.
I think, in my mind, you got to surprise them, whether it's with Garrett Green or something on offense. You got to do something they're not expecting and go crazy. You're not going to manage this game to a win.
This game can't be a shootout. It can't be an
no.
shootout. We're not going to win an offensive shootout. The defense is going to have to get stops.
Yeah.
And in that type of game, the offense can't turn the ball over, can't put us in the hole, can't give them, starting position on our side of the field. That's going to be the big thing. If we're in a shootout, I don't trust our offense isn't going to keep up.
Yeah.
Our defense has to set the tone for the game.
Another thing too this week, Neil Brown's going to have to coach his ass off. We're going to have to see, it's a big game. What can you do in those critical moments? It's not trusting your quarterback, I wouldn't think.
Well, this could be a turning point for him. This could be the thing that keeps him here for years.
Yeah.
You just beat the 15th ranked team. You go on the road. You play, I guess they're 4 now, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You win this, that could be huge.
Follow us up the biggest win in your tenure so far. By your next biggest win.
That's our first win against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
In the Big 12. That'd be huge.
Yeah.
Huge for him. Huge momentum with the recruiting classes coming in. Huge momentum for the rest of the season. You erase that loss in the first game of the season with a win here. You set yourself up really well.
If they beat Oklahoma, does Arch Manning come to Morgantown?
No, he's not coming.
That's a joke. Nobody hate me. That's a joke.
Forget it. You're the one that texted me and said
I did. I will say, it took me a minute to get the joke. When he first said it, I was like, wait, what?
He's not coming.
He said it so straight faced. Like he sold it so well. At first, I got it, but it took me a second. I was like, wait a second. Huh?
It's all right. We got a good QB of the future.
And I wanted to talk about this week, but we missed the podcast. So we'll save that for Monday. Nico Marchiol, the game he played. Woo! If you guys haven't seen it, go on YouTube and watch clips, and we're going to talk about that Monday because that was something special.
He's a baller.
Yeah, he's something.
I think we're good at QB.
Yeah,
he might very well play as a freshman.
I think he will. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Something that heart.
So I guess we're both predicting loss. We don't want to do a score prediction for that, right?
You can do a score prediction.
I don't know. I would say let's will it to a win again, but I don't think we have that kind of power yet. This is a bigger game.
I'd be happy with it. Like I said before the season, I'd be happy with a competitive game.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, if you're going to lose, just show the country because they'll be watching that you belong in this game. It's on ABC. It's in prime time. Show the country you belong. Don't look stupid. Don't make it one of those ABC night games where a top 5 team is blowing out someone else in the division.
I don't want to see a blowout. And I don't want to see Daggy out there with 5 interceptions, 4 interceptions, getting destroyed all game.
That's my score prediction or hope for this game. Don't look stupid on national TV. Just be in the game. Yeah. But let us know what you guys think in the comments. If you're not, subscribe to H&J Talk Sports because we're here after long, arduous travels and crazy pandemic viruses. We still came to you. So if that doesn't earn your subscription, I'm not sure what does. But anyway, subscribe. Tune in Monday for our full podcast, and we'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure.
But are we going to do score predictions real quick?
Okay, what do you want? Well, I gave my prediction. Don't look foolish. What's your prediction?
I'm going, what do you say? Let's go 34-17.
34-17 wouldn't be a horrible game.
That'd be pretty bad. F it. We're on a roll. Let's go 34-24.
Ooh, okay.
Oklahoma.
10 points. I think all our calls have been 10 points this year. We'll see.
Maybe we got mixed it up.
Yeah. I like it. Let us know if you agree with Harry in the comments.
I think the first half we stay competitive. The second half, the offense makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Oklahoma starts picking it up and they pull away.
We struggled in the second half so far, which is a coaching thing if you're asking me. I don't know. But let us know, guys, and we'll see you Monday.